Alright, I just insert the audio track and I'm back. Coming with some information in the form of a snack. So today the thought is gonna be, again it's about money. It's gonna be that money is what you think it is. Let me explain. First I'm gonna give you a preview of what we're talking about. So basically, I'm going to talk about the way people's minds work in regards to their beliefs. I'm going to talk about how different people respond differently to different situations. Talk about kind of how people generally think about money. Going to talk about how to understand the whole process of basically creating wealth, starting with simple thoughts and beliefs. Going to talk about how to avoid getting caught up in some of the traps out here regarding getting people to think the wrong way about money in a way that will basically stop the flow of money from coming to them. And my own personal experience with this, I would have to say, is that my own journey with money started out at a time when I was always working super hard, doing basically what I was told to do. I went, worked, full time, went to college or university, whatever you want to call it, full time at the same time. And after that, started to look for a full-time job that would pay me more than a minimum wage job, and started going to interviews and things like that. And I really realized, like, you know what, I'm just doing this because this is what really society has told me I'm supposed to do. I don't want to do this. I know I'll be unhappy if I get a job working for somebody else. I've just gone on this ride the whole time because that's what pretty much everybody's told me, and every time I've like thought of something different, people have shot me down and everything like that. So once I made that decision, I remember very clearly going to one interview, and I was speaking to the woman who owned the business. It was a small business, and I was pretty much telling her the same thing I was saying at every other interview about how I went to school for business and I'm interested in starting my own business in the future. And she pretty much told me something that I feel like everybody was thinking, but no one even told me. And she said, you know what, if you're going to a job interview, you don't want to tell people that because they're going to be afraid of hiring you because they're going to be worried that you're going to, maybe steal their ideas and start your own business with it, something along the lines of that. So she pretty much told me, be careful about telling people this because that's a big red flag for people that are hiring, that they're supposed to watch out for these kind of people, even though, I mean, in my mind, these are the kind of people that are really going to be the most productive and most creative. But that's not how corporate culture really works. They want to keep things really sterile. They want to keep things in order. They want to have this system. They want to pay people basically nothing on the bottom and pay people on the top like way too much. So yeah, I'm just trying to make people aware of this too. This is kind of like my goal. So kind of like change the culture about like work, corporations, all that kind of stuff. So basically, she also told me that you can totally start a business, like it's anyone can do it, but it's going to be super difficult to try and like work full time and start a business at the same time. You pretty much like I would advise that you choose one or the other. And I remember that was very helpful. Like I had gone to all these interviews and just something felt off about them. I never felt like the people were really like being honest. They were just kind of going through an interview process and everything, but whenever they'd kind of have like a like a response to something I said, they never really verbalized it like this woman did. And I was very thankful. I was like, wow, man, like she didn't have to do that. She didn't have to be honest, like, you know. So anyways, after that, I made my mind up that, I wanted to make more money than I would at a minimum wage job, something along the lines of like, 50,000 US a year. To me, that was pretty much like, oh man, I'll be set. Like if I'm making $50,000 a year, then that's just enough so I'm not broke and I can afford housing and food and be able to really just be able to, like snowboard, uh, play sports, be in nature like the majority of the days of the week, and just, be able to do my own thing, work on my business on the side, and it would bring in enough money that I'll be able to do all that. And in less than a year, started my business, and that's what happened. And I did that for a few years, and then I had new desires. I started wanting something different. Basically, from there, I went to be like, I still want to, enjoy myself and be able to take breaks and go in nature and all that, and realize how important that is and how recharging it is, and how many times I can be stuck on something in work and all it takes is me to get out in nature and go snowboarding or something like that, and then the ideas just come to me like with no effort. So basically, the next step for me is gonna be making millions so that I can make a positive change in the world and help create wealth for other people. So now that I have that intention, basically, I believe that will come to me soon, as long as I just, keep that intention, have the right reasons for it and everything. I mean, looking back, pretty much my mind, it was like whatever I really wanted, and I believed, like that's what manifested. So that's my own, personal example of kind of what I'm getting into on the thought for the day. And just another quick preview is that, if you believe something's going to be true, it's probably going to be true. Gonna look at like beliefs around money, uh, ways that you can avoid blocking money. A lot of common ways that the system or outside influences and marketing, whatever, is gonna try to influence people to get in a mindset that's gonna really restrict money from coming into their lives, restrict them from developing the correct mindset around money. So, getting into the first point I'm trying to make is if you believe something is true, most likely that's going to become your reality. Like your mind is very powerful, and really, in a way, we kind of create our own realities. So, if you think that life's supposed to be tough, life's supposed to be hard, life's supposed to be this like, you know, life's a bitch and then you die type thing, I mean, that's probably going to be your reality if you believe it, because you're going to look for things to always support that reality. You're going to be always like complaining over and over about how life is tough, and that's just going to bring more reasons for you to complain. And obviously you're going to attract people who are in your life who are on that same kind of mindset, because anybody who's not on that mindset is just basically not going to want to hear that kind of complaining and stuff. They're going to realize that it's toxic. They're going to be like, yeah, like I need to avoid that. And the only other people, when you start complaining to people at work or whatever it is, the other people that you're going to attract are the other people that believe that life's super tough, and they're going to give you more and more examples of why their life is so hard and everything like that. And that's the exact opposite. If you think that life is awesome, life is easy, everything flows to you easily, there's no reason to be mad, no reason to like worry about things, that everything's perfect, then you're going to attract the kind of people with that kind of mindset. So another point I want to make kind of on that is that people respond differently to the same situations. Like something could happen to one person that causes them to just like freak out, think that it's the end of the world, everything like that. The same thing could happen to another person who, it's like whatever, no big deal. And some people even see like something that most people perceive as bad as good, because they think that everything happens for a reason, and that if it happened, it's probably good. There's no reason to fight against it. Like it's going to lead me to something better. Well, some people take a loss, they get mad. Some people don't. Some people think that money is like evil, that money is the root of all evil saying. Some people think that money is good. Some people think that, if you have a lot of money, you can only be some like evil type of Mr. Burns character on The Simpsons or something like that. You can only be some like evil dictator that like all this money is going to cause you to become corrupt and everything like that. Well, hey, if you think that, like, that's probably going to be your reality. Some people like myself believe that, the more money I have, the more good I can do. And like I said, your mind is very powerful. Just as, some people use money for good purposes, some people use money for bad purposes. Some people try to use their money, some people get a lot of money and they try to help everybody else around them. Some people get a lot of money and they become afraid that everybody's going to take their stuff, and they feel like they need to hoard it and build walls and get weapons and guns to protect it and all that kind of stuff. Some people think that it's super easy to make money. Some people think that you have to like work hard every day and like just to like make a little bit of extra money, and then like if you save up like these pennies your whole life, then you'll have enough to like do something stupid or whatever. I don't even know what it is some people think, but I'm trying to speculate on that. But anyways, if you think money's bad, then you're probably right. And it's really not going to come to you. Why would the universe give you money if you think it's bad and it's only going to cause bad things to happen? Vice versa. If you think money is good, you're going to be looking for it to come into your life, and it's going to be, more easily coming into your life and stuff like that. Some people believe that they're always going to be poor. That's just who they are. Like, a lot of places in the world, there's a caste system. Even in America, I see, even though there's not an official caste system, there's definitely certain qualities in our society that very much resemble different countries that have caste systems. And there's definitely economic barriers that are set up that make it easier for people with money to make more money and harder for people that don't have money to make money. However, that's a different video for a different day. But it just depends on, where you stay as far as where your mind is at. Like really, do you think that you're gonna be poor for the rest of your life, that your parents were always poor and everything like that, so you're gonna be poor? And or do you believe like you can be rich, like you can make as much money as you think you can make, you have the power to do it? Like, that's really gonna shape your reality. Like, subconscious is very powerful. So the next point going on to is a lot of people want to make money. A lot of people might feel like that, they do want money, that is not bad. However, there are, some like mental contradictions that they have that they're not really 100% aware of that are stopping them. So, these could be things like the belief that you can make a lot of money, but you need some certain job, or you need some certain like inheritance or something along the lines of like you're not able to create it on your own. So that's why it's very important to believe that you have the ability to create your own wealth. You don't need anybody to tell you how much you can make. You don't need anybody to give you a certain job to get to where you want to be or anything like that. Like, you just need to believe that, I have the ability to do this. And I've even known people in my life who believe that, I'll never get rich unless I win the lottery. And the crazy thing with that is most people who win the lottery, they still have that same mindset, and then they end up losing all their money. So it's like, really, the mindset is huge. And it just goes to show that, like, people given a lot of money with the wrong mindset, what do they say? A fool and his money will soon depart. So, look at another example of this. Think of how many people lose their job and then they blame like the economy or the government, and then they think that like some politician is going to bring their job back, or like once the economy gets better then their job's going to come back. They're looking for like someone else to like provide them with something. They don't believe that they have this ability themselves to do this. And a lot of politicians I see, unfortunately, play off of that. And, they get a lot of people like worked up, like thinking that like, oh yeah, this person's going to create this and this job, and I'm going to get my job back if this person is elected and everything like that. Well, good luck with that. So, gonna go into the next point trying to make. This is really like a process of creating wealth. Definitely not anything I ever learned in any kind of business school, any kind of business class. It all starts with a thought. And like I was saying before, I had the thought like, I want to make whatever amount of money so I can do whatever with my life. And once you have that thought, it's important, super important, that you believe it's even possible. So many people, like, they want so much out of life, but they don't even believe. And I've even fallen into that trap myself at times, and it's just something that part of my life where I had to go through that to learn that lesson. And now I'm fortunate enough that I can teach it to other people and hopefully save people some time, some energy, whatever it be. So once you believe that, it's going to gain momentum over time. The belief's going to become stronger, and it's like a cycle that's going to, as long as you stay positive and you keep believing that, and I mean, it's just going to, next thing you know, it's going to be there, and and you're not going to have any doubts about it. You're going to like be like, yeah, of course this is coming. Like, I knew I could do it. Like, it's no big deal. And you'll be like, yeah, it's easy to create money. It's easy to make money, if you believe it. So that kind of goes to believing that you're in the right place on your path to becoming rich or whatever it is you want to become in life. Don't get mad that you're not rich yet. Don't get mad that you're not like where you want to be with whatever yet. Just I would have to say, for me personally, I'm just thinking about things like, I'm exactly in the right spot where I'm supposed to be, learning the lessons right now that I'm supposed to learn. If I would have had that money a long time ago, I wasn't ready for it yet. Kind of like someone who wins the lottery, I probably wouldn't have used it right. Probably would have, who knows. But at the end of the day, I realized, like, I'm just happy to be where I am, and I'm not mad that I'm not rich yet. I'm just, happy that right now I'm have the freedom to do what I want with my business and my life, and create money and build more of what I want to see in the world. So this goes on to like being very specific in regards to like why you even want to be rich. Like, how much money do you even think you need? Like once the money comes, like, what are you gonna do with it? Like you don't. A lot of people I talk to just want to be rich so that they can live in a mansion or something like that, or like have a Ferrari or Lambo, whatever. I mean, I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with it, but like I would say be more specific. Like, why do you really want the money? And especially, like, I feel like it goes back to like money being good or bad. Like, if you want money to do something good, the money's more likely to come to you. If you want money to do something bad, I mean, like, that's, like, probably shouldn't have that money in the first place. So yeah, just be really specific on what you want the money for and how much you want, and write it down in your goals. I've got another video I've talked about on like how to create goals in life, and that goes too to how your mind is very powerful, and all the beliefs and everything that you have around your goals and dreams and everything like that. So yeah, just trust in the path that you're on right now, that you're learning the lessons that you need to know. Avoid these traps out here that might get you thinking that your ability to make money is determined by like the economy. If the economy goes bad, you're gonna be like worried and all that stuff like that, or like someone else that's gonna create your job, or a boss or something like that. I mean, really, like, don't listen. Like, you don't even have to listen to that stuff. Like, I study investing in the economy, and that stuff's super interesting to me. And what I've come to realize is like when it comes to investing advice and everything, like it helps to really know what, everybody's like talking about and what the economy's doing and everything like that. Like that's interesting to me to know, but I also understand that I've made the mistakes in the past of, people saying like, "Oh, you should invest in this," or, "do this or that." And then I've done it because someone else says to invest in it, and it works out. I'm happy, but I don't know why it worked out. It doesn't work out, and I'm just like, oh man, that person gave me wrong advice, and I don't even know why, like I did that in the first place. So what I've learned is like, you gotta kind of like be able to be aware of what's going on, but also be able to like make your own choices and do your own thing, trust your own path, avoid all these traps. A lot of marketing really like gets people thinking like they need more money so that they can buy some material stuff, and that's what it's all about. And work a second job so you can pay off the loan for the jet ski or whatever it is. I mean, yeah, not much to really say about that. If people are at that level where they want money for material things and they're willing to like go work on somebody else's goals and dreams so that they can buy material stuff, like I mean, from what I've seen, like really that might bring people happiness for a little bit, and then it's like nothing. Just like I thought like if I made like $50,000 a year, like I would be so happy, and like that would be like oh, I'm rich and everything. And I was like, I was like happy about it, and I was like kind of celebrating. When it first happened, I was like, yeah, I did it. But after a couple months, it was like my life isn't any better. I'm really not any happier. Like it's just money. And on one hand, it's like I realize that money isn't everything, and on the other hand, I realize that I can really create the amount of money that I want mentally, like, and that is, it doesn't really have like anything to do with making me happier because there's a bigger number in my bank account. It's what I do with the money, and along that line of thinking, along that line of action. So really, that's the end of what I got for today. Hope you got some value out of what I had to say. Bringing you the truth with no delay. If you like what I gotta say, go ahead and smash up the likes. Leave some comments. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I got the Discord group. It's not fully set up yet, but at least you can sign up and get in the group for now. That's it for today. I'm out.